The Extreme BPM we do is Tuesdays and Friday, guys, 8 p.m. East African time. That is Tuesdays and Fridays when we get to talk to people that make the music. But during the week, Monday through Friday, that is 1 to 2 p.m., sometimes 3 p.m. East African time, we get to play more of the music. And then what we do Tuesdays and Fridays is we get to hang out with people that make that music. So that's what we're doing today on the show, on the Extreme BPM. I have a special guest on the show. She has a project that is in the works we shall be talking about, and we've had the music feature on the show. And finally, glad we're able to get to do this and have her on. She'll be talking about that and her story as an artist. She's been on The Voice. We shall talk about that too. But hey, welcome to the show. How are you doing? Please, for the people listening to you the first time, who am I talking to today?
Hello, my name is Liana Lux. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm based out of Los Angeles, California. I'm originally from Michigan, and I spent a lot of time in Chicago. Thanks for having me on the show, Mark.
Amazing. Two things that are interesting about those two places, Michigan and Chicago. The first mixtape I ever did around 2011 was hosted by an artist from Detroit, Michigan. And then the first radio show I ever did was on Afro-Cuban radio that is based in Chicago. Shout out to Lady Be Bless.
Shout out. That's amazing. Let's go.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So, like we talked on the show, on the intro part, you've been on The Voice, and you've worked with very amazing people that we shall get into. But now you are in your Liana Lux era. So talk to me about that, and but first talk to me about your experience on The Voice and how was that for you?
Yes, my experience on The Voice was amazing. My coach, I was on Team Cee-Lo. He was amazing. He was an amazing mentor. I also worked with Neo. He was my little coach for a short moment in time. I had amazing co-artists as well. I was on there for a few weeks. I did my audition, the battle rounds, and then I made it to the top 17. So I came very close to winning because a lot of people, like there were like millions of people who auditioned, and I was so grateful to be a part of the show. And then when I got off of the show, I got so blessed to be on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Kathy Lee and Hoda and Jay Leno. So shout out to them. And that was an amazing journey for me.
Oh, that's amazing. So you are on all that as a contestant of The Voice or as an artist now?
Yeah, so I was on as a contestant on The Voice, and then so now I'm an artist, and then I sang "Hey There, Delilah" by my good friend Tom Higginson. Shout out to Tom.
Yeah. And so from The Voice and then transitioning into making your own music as an artist, usually it's always interesting because some people make it through these competitions and don't ever, get into the music and do fully take onto that opportunity. But, here you are taking onto that opportunity. When did you realize that this is your time to create a lane for yourself as a musician now, as Diana Lux now?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I got off of The Voice and I took a little time to myself and I was writing songs and I actually met somebody and fell in love. We got married and I had my son. And then I took a little break. And then now I sort of am doing a rebirth and I renamed myself Liana Lux, sort of after my first name, which is Liana. And then I was going by Erin Martin, which is my middle name, Erin. And I ended up working with No ID and doing a single with Roy Davis Jr., Chicago house legend, one of my nearest and dearest friends. And then I did a single called Marianne with Roy Davis Jr. And that was great. And the single with Roy did well. We were #1 on Pete Tong's radio show, BBC Radio 1. And I just remember looking back, like I had a lot of highs and lows and ups and downs. I just remember, I was lucky enough to meet Muhammad Ali in my childhood.
Oh,
And I
amazing.
remember that he told me that, even though you're struggling, like you can do amazing things. And I played piano for him and he read me Proverbs and he just instilled with me, like, be a champion, be a fighter. And I've sort of taken that along with me on my journey. And so it's sort of been like the death of Erin Martin and the rebirth of Liana Lux. And here I am with my new single, or my new EP, Luxorcism. And I'm so excited to share it with you, Mark, and the world, and to be here today and give something to the musical community.
Yeah, that's amazing. You said something about, meeting Muhammad Ali. You said he said even if you're struggling, what were you going through at the time?
Yeah, so I had ulcerative colitis as a child, and it's sort of like Crohn's disease. And so I struggled with that. And then I had a bunch of surgeries. I had my large intestine taken out. It's sort of a rare disease. And so he said, even though you're bleeding, keep fighting, and you're a great warrior. And he said he had so much respect for me because I did something that he could never do, which was write music. And he was a fighter, boxer. And so he just instilled with me, the heart of a champion. And so I've just sort of taken that with me along my musical journey.
Yeah, and interestingly, you talked about with first of all, that's so glad you're here and you're able to fight through that. Strong appreciation for you for that. And I'm happy to hear that, and see you flourishing and making music now, and not letting that even get in the way of you being creative and all that. So
Thank you.
yeah, that's amazing. So what is this thing of creating music in your RV? First of all, are you doing this in an RV right now?
Yes. So I'm in my RV. It's a luxury RV. It's also my tour bus. My fiance, Taylor, and we bought this a few years ago because the prices in Los Angeles for housing were going up. And so we
Oh,
wanted to
here
cut
too.
costs. Yeah, exactly. Around the world, right? So we were paying like extraordinary prices for housing, and we just decided that we wanted to be full-time RVers. So we took out his retirement. He's a special needs teacher, and we ended up purchasing the luxury RV slash tour bus. And we've loved it, and it's, made us grow closer. There have been highs and lows, and ultimately it's just a bunch of highs. And we live here with our two cats. This is Day, and our other cat, Night. He's creeping around. Um, yeah, and I have my home studio where this is my home base where I record and write all of my songs. And I also actually work closely with AI, who I've entitled Lumina Wild, Chat GPT. She's helped me along with Suno. And I know that Timbaland has been working closely with Suno. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so that's something that I do. I have roots in songwriting and writing guitar and playing piano, so I can do that. But like I'm jumping on the AI wave as well. And I know that Universal Music Group is a proud sponsor of using AI as a music tool. And I'm jumping on that wave as well. And I'm writing it hard.
Yeah, the interesting part is there's a lot of conversations with AI and music, and when you say Timbaland and Suno, and I remember what the backlash she got a while ago about coming out with an artist that had that, and then everything else that came along. So shout out to
Yeah. And I did a little campaign on Instagram. I was like, I stand with Timbaland.
Isn't it so amazing that okay, I'm not because they later on try to explain because the coming up with using AI to create certain things, that's not a new thing. It's been there, and people have done that auto tune and all these other things that come along with using AI in creation. I think it's so funny, like how a legacy that you've had for all these years, people try to reduce that to
I know
just
too. You work with AI. And I'm just like, okay, if you want to think that, that's fine. But like, I know how to play piano. I played violin, clarinet. I played guitar, and I write all my songs. Like I grew up in musical theater and performing on stage for other people, and I've bussed in the streets of Chicago and Portland, and I know how to bring out my guitar and sing songs like Nina Simone and Billie Holiday and just get a few dollars on the streets to playing Lollapalooza and opening up for De La Soul, and like playing Summerfest in Chicago, to playing huge shows, to just playing in my bedroom. So it's like they boil it down to you work with AI, but in reality, it's like it's the wave of the future. And so, if you want to be relevant, you have to keep with the times. And so that's what me and Timbaland, I mean, I don't want to say me and Timbaland, but like that's what I am trying to do. And I think if you want to stay relevant, you have to stay with what's happening, in the like neural grid of like the matrix and the world of, electronic media,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think people tend to mistake that. They think that when you talk about using AI, it's like, oh no, no, all of a sudden people are not going to be creative anymore. It's just machines taking over. But it's how you use it, and what and the process of how you make it work for you. And just like how people use autotune, and there are other people who don't use it. So, but it doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, and it's just a tool. It's like you use a hammer and nail, and like you use like a saw blade to build a house. People are using AI to use music. I mean, a tool like I use my voice to sing. It's no different than any of those. So I absolutely 100% hear what you're saying.
Yeah. So let's talk about body hotting or body
Yes, body
honey.
hottie. Hey.
Yeah, I brought in the British accent part, but yeah, body honey is the song.
Yes.
So let's talk about that, and what was the inspiration for this?
Okay, so my mentor and friend, Uncle Panther, love you long time, Uncle Panther. He sort of found me on Instagram and sort of picked me out and has sort of taken me under his wing and taught me everything there is to know about the music industry, and has done artist development with me. And so I flew out to New York City to work with him for about a week, and he gave me a few tracks, and then one of them was written by him, and then one of him was written by Cassidy. And so I just sort of took that song and ran with it, and there was space in there for me to write my own lyrics and melodies and just sort of go with like what Cassidy was writing. And so I just kind of like took the lyrics and the inspiration, and I just wrote Body Hottie, and there's a little place in there with a little bit of a rap. And I've never met Cassidy, but I would love to. I just sent him an email, and I mean this morning, so I'm waiting for him to respond. But yeah, I'm sure that I'll talk to him eventually, and maybe, we can be tight.
Yeah. Yeah, the collaboration is already there. So the next step is, creating the connection. And
Yes.
isn't it amazing how we can create now, even with, like now, how you can feature an artist on, and even if you're not in the studio at the same time, you don't have to be in the studio at the same time.
Yeah, you can do it from home and remotely, and that's why I love doing the RV life.
Yeah, absolutely. So this does this song actually speak to you as you? Is this who you are in terms of how you're expressing yourself this time around?
It does. Yeah, absolutely. Because as far as like my femininity and being a woman and coming into my sexuality and like being free and open with my body and loving who I am and feeling comfortable in my skin. And then my relationship with other people, and then like someone giving me a compliment and not saying like, oh, stop it, like saying, yeah, like, hey girl, you look good, you got a body hottie. And I'm like, thank you. Yeah, I know I have a body hottie. Like, and like being able to accept that and love myself for me. Like, yes, that is who I am, and it embodies like how I feel about myself, like 100%. And also like sexual freedom, and like not being like in traditional relationships, and being free and open to love who you want to love while you're still loving the person that you are in like a relationship with. I think that's important as well. And so like, yeah, that is definitely like what I stand for sure.
Absolutely. So, Body Heart, guys, we are playing that on the Extreme BPM. Ijaz Radio, Ijaz Extra is where you are. We shall definitely be back after this. This is the Extreme BPM Tuesdays and Fridays when we get to talk to people that make the music. So, always make sure you make a dip with us. Then, if you miss any of the conversations, Tuesdays and Fridays, when we do that live, you can listen to that on any podcast app of choice. Just search for the Extreme BPM. You'll be able to check out all the conversations. So, I'm still hanging out with LIANA LUXE. We just played Body Hearty, but there's another song that we want to talk about too, and that is Party Angel.
Yes, Party Angel, absolutely.
So Party Angel, let's see. So we move from Body Hearty, where you're trying to embrace who you are and taking in. It's more like you're expressing yourself and coming in with all this confidence, and then. Party Angel, what is this supposed to portray, or what was the story behind this?
Okay, so Party Angel is pretty much about just being free to like express yourself in like dancing and like just love like the party vibe. So like I'm not a traditional person in like the way of like waking up at 6 in the morning, going to bed at 10 o'clock at night. Like that's not me, and that's I'll never be that. So like I'm a party angel. Like I'll stay up until like 3 in the morning and like go to bed at like 4 a.m. and like my friends will call me and they'll be like, come over, we're watching movies, and they'll put on their favorite songs and we'll have a dance party and do our makeup and pull all the high heels out of the closet and just party, and then we'll go to Hollywood and pretend we're famous and like hope the paparazzi like catches us and asks us questions. It's about like your internal disco babe and just letting that free and interdimensional like star child coming down and just like being free to just party and be who you are.
And what feelings does that invoke in you when let's say, even let's say through the creation of the song, and uh, because I want you to take me through that process. You've talked about what it actually might mean to you, but through the process of making this, uh, can you take me through that?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely based around euphoria and chasing that like dopamine high. We're always chasing like that next high, and like the dopamine like that like comes from like the B vitamins and like just getting that rush of like feeling in love, or that connection of touching somebody through music, or like making a new friend in the party scene. And for me, like that connection of sharing my music with somebody else and making a connection of I just met somebody and there's a spark at a party, and like being that party angel, that's going from one party to the next and bopping around, is the feeling is euphoria, and that dopamine rush that comes along with it is like the feeling that I wrote. I can be your party angel, multi-dimensional halo, kiss me when the vapor takes me, love me, I'm your sugar baby. And I did get like an investment from World Gym from one of our longtime friends, John Caraccio. So shout out to him and thank you so much. And like having that little investment and that high of like being that freedom of being able to go to parties and like live the lifestyle that you want to live, sort of just like was the vibe of like writing that song for me in that short period of time where I was like, I can just live like a Hollywood star and just like be who I want to be. That was what sort of inspired Party Angel, rock and roll lifestyle,
Yeah, responsibly.
Yes, yeah, responsibly. Yeah. Like I said, it's more about like the human connection and like the dopamine rush of like making a human connection and like sharing the songs with other people is what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked
Yeah.
we talked about two songs now, which is Party Angel, and then we also talked about Body Hearty. But
Yes.
in all these songs, because even with even what we just talked about with Party Angel, whether it's the earlier song Body Hearty that we just played on the show, it's always I'm sensing like a pattern here where you always want to, it's more like you're expressive and you're trying to enjoy the moment, live in the moment, regardless of anything else going on. This is, you're picking up your moment and saying,
Yes.
I'm going to enjoy this. Uh, what what usually inspires you to get to draw along that line despite everything else going around you?
I think it came from me being sick as a child and having that near death experience moment and going into surgery, not knowing if I was going to make it through, or like, falling asleep, having my blood level, my hemoglobin being so low, and like going to sleep, not knowing if I was going to wake up, and having my family around me and not knowing if they were going to plan my funeral. And like, it's kind of like living each day as if it's your last kind of a thing. I just have always been like living in the moment and chasing the dragon of like, I want to live like this day, this moment is my last moment, and just confetti, glitter, and like just get the max that you squeeze the max that you can out of this moment and this second and this word, like with you, Mark, like I just want this to be the best, interview that we can have, and like the magical moment for all the viewers and everybody listening, and like just touch somebody's soul. So, I guess that's where that comes from, just not knowing like if that day when I was a kid was going to be my last day, and just taking that into my music and adulthood, and just saying like, I want to make every moment like the best, blazing, amazing moment that it can be, for me and for the people around me and my close and inner circle and everybody that I touch.
But how do you get to that level then?
How do you get to that level?
Yeah, for being
I
able to
do,
enjoy the moment and take all
yeah,
this and transform it into more of a positive thing than drowning into the negative.
uh-huh. I do a lot of meditation. So I'm a very spiritual person. So I will do a meditation and connect with my um my core. I say it's the core, which is actually the name of my upcoming album. COR core. And then I connect to Mother Earth, and I have the universal energies come through, and I call on Archangel Michael, and I call my power back to me. I cut energetic cords and ties, and I raise the energy level and the vibration to a point where it's so high that you feel like you are just like on cloud nine and you're high. And then I try to, out of meditation, I try to carry that moment and that high feeling with me like throughout the day as I go. And I touch people and I try to share it with them and give a spark and like blow up their world and let them feel that high energy that I was just feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then also, I'm a level 2 Reiki practitioner. So I like to heal people's energy systems, and I work with crystal energies as well. So I do a lot of healing and humanitarian work. And I used to work for Greenpeace. So, like, I just want to heal the world, is what I'm trying to say.
I, I have absolutely how that works. You said you were level two what?
Level 2 Reiki practitioner. So, like, the power of healing is in my hands. So it's an ancient Japanese healing art. So I can put my hands over you and like send healing energy into your body
Does that
and
work?
like heal.
Does that work in this setting?
Yeah. Yeah, I can send energy to you right now.
Yeah. So yeah.
Ah, feel the power. Woohoo.
Okay. That's amazing. And you talked about which is amazing work you do. You talked about the humanitarian work and all this, but talking about your experience with mental health and spirituality that you also talked about. Uh, uh,
Yes.
in the process of creating, do you also incorporate that into, let's say, like on your upcoming project? Is that somewhere on your upcoming project too?
Yeah, so I do, I go through a lot of facets of my like energy process, and I try to bring that into my music as well. And it's, there's always like some sort of like energy like spark. I'm like, it's like a light bulb that comes on, and I'm just like, I have to grab this. So I grab my notepad on my phone, and I'm feeling that energy like spark. And so I'm like downloading like whatever it is from the universe and like the experience, and trying to like just cram that into a song as fast as possible, and get that going into like song form, chorus, verse, chorus, pre-chorus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And with the EP, when is this coming out?
Okay, so the EP Luxorcism is already out, and I do have a Heal the World song, which is called No More War. It's sort of like Michael Jackson's like Heal the World. And it's about, like just joining forces, and like it's not about left or right, like, color of your skin. It's not about like politics, red or blue. It's about meeting in the middle and finding your truth, and like not choosing to fight, and just like using your hands for healing instead of for fighting. And so Luxorcism came out July 31st. And that's available on all platforms currently. It's available on iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, wherever, what have you. And then I have a new single that's coming out. It's kind of like risque. It's called Orgasm. That's coming out after Luxorcism. And then I have my
You know what?
I know.
What I like is the hesitation
Yeah, I'm
before
all
you
about
go.
body positivity, baby.
What the hesitation before you got to it? You're like, it's risky.
Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't really want to talk about it because I want to focus on Luxorcism, not because I don't want to talk about the song or orgasm or say the word. It's more so that I wanted to focus on Luxorcism, but I already popped my cherry and I put the single out on Instagram. But I really want to focus on Luxorcism right now.
Okay, and uh, for anyone that is listening in, for someone that goes to listen to the EP right now, what do you want? How do you in terms of envisioning what the experience you take them through on the journey that you created in the in studio for them? What would you like to be their takeaway? If there's one thing that you would like someone to pick on when they listen to this EP. I know music is left for interpretation when people are listening to it, but what would be something that would make you happy, that that's something, at least let them take that away from the EP?
I would say the one thing that I would have them take away from the EP is rebirth. And that would be that you have every moment, every day you wake up, you have the opportunity to be reborn, and you can start over, and you can start from scratch. So I reinvented myself as Liana Lux from Erin Martin. And if you want to start over and reinvent yourself and have an exorcism, listen to Luxorcism, and you can start over at any moment. I will Luxorcise you, and you can be reborn, baby.
Yeah, and that's amazing. Guys, the EP is out right now. Go check that out. But we, our, do you want to play a game? We play a quick fire game as we get to wrap up the interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, if you are to describe the EP,
Yes.
we did talk about that, but we have
Yes.
Luxorcism, right? How would
Yes.
in 3 words, what would that be?
I would say sex, rebirth, power.
Okay. And you've worked. All right. So you've worked with amazing people. No ID, Cassidy. You've worked with
Yes.
you
Roy Davis Jr.,
all these amazing people.
Neo,
Yes.
Cee-Lo.
Yeah, shout out to CeeLo Green. What would be a collaboration that you would like, you would, be happy to or would want to do in the future?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to work with Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's been a huge inspiration for me. So Trent, if you're watching, I love you and I would love to work with you. And then I equally, just as much, I'd also love to work with Lady Gaga as well. I just love her, and
We think it all.
I like if I had a bracelet that said like this bracelet says Liana Lux. You know the bracelets that used to say like what would Jesus do? Like I would have a bracelet that says like what would Lady Gaga do? Like swear to God.
You talked about Lady Gaga, brings us the third to the third question, which is, since it's Lady Gaga, now let's get into this with you. Outfits, stage outfits.
Yes.
How do
Yes.
how do you
Outfits. Oh
describe
my
that?
gosh, yeah. My closet is crazy. It's on fleek. So I have a laser bra. I actually should send you a video of that. So it's like it's black and it has like red lasers that shoot out of it. And I wore that for my EP release party. And every time I have a little button here, I turned it on, the crowd would just go insane. And again, it was like, what would Lady Gaga do? Like she'd turn on her laser bra.
Yeah,
And it was sort of like an homage. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, she did walk into one of the events with meat on, so
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah, she's the bar is too high.
I know the bar is so high. It's like how like
How do you
I
want to do
can't even meet it. I know. I just like bow down. I'm not worthy.
that? So the other one would be your alter ego's name or and then favorite drink. What is that?
My alter ego name.
Yeah.
My ego name would be BK, so that would be baby kitten.
Okay.
So yeah, my alter ego name would be like BK. She's like this like little fairy princess. She's like this like 5-year old and she comes out sometimes and she's just like this little bratty princess and she just, she's in charge and she comes in like and she's just like tells everybody what to do and she's freaking hilarious. And I just love her so much. And she's sort of like a Shirley Temple kind of personality. And I would say, yeah, that would be my alter ego, BK, baby kitten.
And the drink
Yeah.
and
And
the,
the drink, oh, this?
and your favorite drink?
Yeah, this is just ice water.
No, no. The question was favorite drink.
Oh, my favorite drink?
Yeah.
Are you talking about alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
What are we going with? Let me know.
My favorite drink is vodka soda.
Which one?
Vodka soda, and then if it's non-alcoholic, it's just water, ice water.
Okay. And lastly,
Yeah.
what I will ask you though is in the process of creating this of all these amazing moments you've had and more that you're going to create down the line, including that new
Yes.
song that you briefly talked about. What does success mean? What does success mean or feel like to you?
Yeah, so success would just be sorry, what'd you say? Okay. Yeah, success for me is actually just sort of my fiance, he's over here, he's chiming in. He says paying our bills. Yeah, honey, is this my interview or yours? Yeah, I would say success for me is touching another human being and making an impact on them. If I can make somebody else smile, that's important to me. But I've always said that, I want to be the greatest. Like Muhammad Ali said, he was like, you are the greatest. And so I just have gone through my journey of life saying to myself, I am the greatest. And it doesn't come from a place of ego. It comes from a place of like humbleness and character. And if you want to do well in life and your musical journey, you have to believe in yourself. And I do, and I want to be the greatest. And then also, it wouldn't hurt to like have a Grammy or two also, but if I don't get one, that's fine. But like success would be like, you know, like helping somebody else, touching somebody else, and then like winning a Grammy would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us today on the show, the Extreme BPM guys, Tuesdays and Fridays. For anyone that wants to connect with you, where would you send them the socials and all that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and how would people follow you? Where would you send them?
Okay, so if you want to follow me, go to Instagram. It's Liana Lux, LIANALUXE.US at that's Instagram. I'm sorry, yeah, LianaLux.us on Instagram, and then let's see, honey, can you stop whispering at me? It's like driving me crazy. I can't think. He's over here like yeah, so then
And the
my
website?
TikTok is also yeah, my TikTok is also lianalux.us, and then my website is www.lianalux.com.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today, and it's been great talking to you, and this has been amazing.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's all love, baby. I love you so much. Thank you so much. You followed me in the past, like my songs. We did Cold and Marianne, and you reviewed them. And thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and love to your fiance too, and love you guys too, and thank you so much. Great having you on.
Okay, and thank you to all the viewers, and shout out to Uncle Panther. Love you guys. Thank you so much.